is all present.
Good evening.
First on the agenda is 7 o'clock is 38 Orchard Circle, a notice of intent for an in-law addition.
Hey,
Hi,
Steve Brad with Land Planning, here on behalf of the project for 38 Orchard Circle. It's an existing single-family house on a residential subdivision. It's got an existing, sorry, I didn't bring it, something to stand this on. I thought you had something here.
do we have easels here?
No, no, I can hold it up, though. It's-
Sorry, yeah.
We probably have easels upstairs.
You want this?
Yeah, thanks.
We're good.
Okay, so
Anyways,
let's go.
5-acre parcel. It's got a large wetland in the back of the property. The existing house is here, attached garage, and an in-ground pool to the side. Their existing septic system in the front, and underground utilities to the house there, and the driveway off of Orchard Circle there. So the wetland is delineated.
Thank you.
in blue, by
That's-
Ken Thompson,
And where's the 50-foot?
and the 50-foot is what you see in the dash yellow line here.
Okay,
Now, the proposed addition is for an in-law apartment,
okay.
and the addition is on the back of the garage, with a little bit of it hanging over into the house. So there's gonna be an entrance from the, there's already an entrance into the garage, a door on the side, and there's gonna be a new entrance on the side as well.
How close to the 50-foot does it get?
So it's 64 feet from the wetlands, so
wetlands.
it's 14 feet from the 50
Okay.
foot. And then we get grading around the back, nothing closer than the 50-foot, and we've got erosion controls along the 50-foot line.
What are you using for erosion controls?
So fences.
Okay. Any questions for anybody?
No?
No?
If you want to read the narrative, I have that, and I have to go run off and grab something and be right back.
Read the what?
Just that narrative, this just gives more detail on the project. I'll be right back.
Do you want me to read this out loud, or?
No. What is that?
Notice of intent narrative.
Oh, is that for this?
Notice of intent is filed under the Massachusetts Wetlands Protection Act. Let's see, Carrie Noonan, the owner and applicant, submits the notice of intent for the in-law.
No, I don't think
I can read it, but the highlights
No.
are,
Yeah, well, let's see, summary, so mitigation measure, oh, is this what you gave us?
this is the one I gave you,
Oh,
so
then-
Oh, okay.
kind of
We
got a
don't have to
summary
give it to
anyway.
you
Yeah,
then?
that's on me.
You already know it. Perfect. Your thing on us to look through it.
What the drawings for the farm?
After everyone's reviewed it, take it on, motion.
Nobody wants to make a motion?
Motion to approve notice of
I think-
intent for 38 Orchard Circle, Halifax.
Yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Aye. All set? Thank you,
Excellent.
so it's like a 10-day appeal
Yeah,
period for it. And I'm not sure if Debbie needs any money for anything.
I'm not sure what.
If Debbie needs any money for anything. I
Um,
don't think so.
I don't think
you're all
so.
set.
We've given her all the application
Yeah,
fees,
so I think we're good.
so I think we're good. But as far
Okay.
as when we'll actually get the order of conditions sent out, how
Oh,
quickly
does
will
she
that
have
happen?
that? She might have that for us to sign.
Yeah, she'll be right back.
She'll be right back.
Okay.
We'll wait for her to come back and then we can sign it.
Awesome.
Or else you're chasing us down for the next month.
Yeah.
Yeah, get them signed over here.
We're learning.
Are you guys gonna go into a summer schedule at all? That's a little less,
No, I
gonna
don't think
stay
so.
every 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of people get things going in the summer too, so
Yeah.
they want to see us.
So has it been a little quieter this past half a year, or have you noticed? I mean, I saw it was the only thing tonight, so that's.
I
why-
know.
I know, that's
That's the
unusual.
first in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like we've been pretty busy.
Yeah.
Oh, last week, I think we had 7.
Wow.
And in the
I
week,
picked up
in the
one
week,
night.
in the,
You did?
you picked
Yeah.
you picked a good night to come.
Yeah.
The week
You did.
before, or the meeting before, I think
We
we
were here till 9 one
Yeah.
night, weren't we?
Oh, that was
did
the,
9 or 10, plus the
yeah, I was in.
stormwater presentation
Yeah, yeah.
and doing all that paperwork with the girls from the one company.
Did that come up in the town meeting on Monday? Did I reach
I
the?
did not go.
Was
You
it
guys,
Monday?
did you go to the meeting?
Last
Monday?
night, yeah. What was the question?
Did the
The
water runoff
The
stuff,
stormwater?
stormwater come up
I
yet?
mi- I missed the beginning, so I don't know if it was at the beginning.
I don't know, I was
I was in
working.
But I didn't, it wasn't while I was there though.
Lawyer had been
I have
home
no
sleeping, but
excuse.
it wasn't.
Can we do something else while we wait?
Oh, waiting?
Yeah.
Something signatures, amended order conditions, 115 River Street, so,
I think these are ones
have
that we
wait for-
already did. She'll give them to us to sign.
oh, okay.
Maybe just make a motion to pay bills.
Motion to pay bills?
Second? All in
Aye.
favor?
Aye.
And that's all for the Max MECC's electronic handbook.
Yep.
Cool,
Exactly.
yeah. We can talk about 31 Ocean Ave, just FYI, that's the one that we were talking about a little bit before, and that they had an existing deck. It looks like they had just come before us, it's a rebuild. And it looked, you might remember, because I think you went out to the property, because I thought they were a little bit closer to the
That was a
water.
while back. When,
Yeah.
They didn't have any dock in there at that time, though.
Yeah.
I didn't remember it there either.
No, they had
But
nothing.
I
Yeah.
guess they do now. So anyways, Debbie did send out a letter telling them to stop what they're doing and to try to come to the next meeting to discuss. So,
Did they put the, was it just a floating dock, or is it?
I'm told it's a pretty impressive dock. So that's that. So we'll see, hopefully we'll see them at our next meeting. Let's see what else we have here. Interoffice mail memos, notices. Is there a packet down there of stuff? Oh,
This says needs.
I guess we'll just wait for it to come back. Sorry to make you wait there.
No, that's okay. Well,
Just Kim needs to sign maybe.
Yeah, because that was the meeting. I don't think that was it.
Can you give that?
And you said you were 64 feet from the,
50 feet.
64 was the, yeah,
to the,
foundation.
yeah, so
And the addition.
64, so I think we're supposed to do a variance. So 64 would be what, 36 feet?
Yeah,
The
well,
wetland line?
it's not a variance because it's
No.
not within the 50 foot, 50
Oh,
foot.
so it's
would
only
be
a
the
variance if it goes within the 50?
Yeah. Unless you've changed the regs and I don't know
Oh,
about it.
God, no, no.
I don't think you have.
You need to sign.
I get to sign this.
Yeah, Google Earth doesn't have a decent picture.
Thank you.
Grab the other one with the big rubber band.
What's the one with the big rubber band?
This one? She didn't write the names, but I signed and she put this here for Kim, and then I don't know who else was here for that meeting.
Like, yeah, that
Were
maybe.
you there?
No, you're not so sure?
Oh, wait, look, right here.
Oh, yeah.
Kim Collins.
See?
Kathy can sign.
I get to sign something?
See, it's the one meeting I missed. Years.
Yep. Can't sign nothing.
Yeah.
Are you a doctor?
I know, the signature's so good, huh? Like
you.
practice.
All right. We
You know,
sign.
that signature's all over the code cards at work.
Let me,
Yep, it's
Is there
good.
one more?
let me see. This is.
Did you do the other one with the red rubber band?
Yep, we did that one.
Yeah.
Oh, covered. Shit, stormwater permit. Okay, so we sign that. 29 Carver Street. Okay, this is 29 Carver Street. And then we sign
No, it was two things for signatures. We did that.
115. Okay.
This is
For
for,
vote and signature is
for a vote
28 button.
and signatures.
Alright, this one is Just wanna make sure. Moves it to the very well.
Did they get lost? What was she going upstairs for?
I don't know.
I don't know.
She forgot to bring something down for me.
See, that's why we should keep our meetings upstairs. Or west upstairs.
Makes no difference to me.
Had the day off yesterday, and had people come in and take some big pines down the back of my house.
Ah.
And it was gusty as could be.
Ooh,
Oh, yeah, the last couple of days have been warm.
Yeah.
Were they swinging?
In the morning, as soon as they got there, it started blowing. He said they don't do it when it's over 30-mile-per-hour gust, and it was right on the verge.
Did they have a crane or?
Yeah, with a crane, so it's like probably 80-foot tall pines.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
take out the
they're pretty
house.
full at the top, but hardly anything down below.
How many do you have taken down?
About 7 or 8 of them.
Yeah.
But they got them all down, but you see when they chopped the first section off at the top, the wind was just making them stand like this,
Mm-hmm.
blowing a little hairy.
This is the other one.
I gotta go see what she's doing, I'll be back.
28 Buttonwood certificate of compliance, 3 signatures.
You see some of those videos of those guys doing, I saw this one video of this guy, I still don't know how he did it. He's up in the tree, he's already taken some of the top off and he's going for the last big limb off the trunk.
Yeah.
And he cuts, and he's got one of these little saws that's
Oh, yeah.
specifically made for it, so he's swinging it,
Yeah.
like a battle axe. And he's hopping around the tree, and then all of a sudden, he gets to the last cut and he gives it a push, and somehow it had already been hooked up. He goes like this, and it was already hooked up on a cable, and the thing just slides down the cable down to the ground.
Really?
Big chunk of it too, and I'm like, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's been doing this for a while.
Sorry about that. I
Oh,
thought I had the signature paper already in the 38 Orchard.
oh, that's what you've been looking for.
Yep. Sorry. This is the last one. 28 Buttonwoods.
You got a pen?
This one, she's ready.
So this is the one that's for,
You need a pen?
Can you steal this for a second? Oh, you need that one? Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
yeah, this one's the 38 Orchard?
Yeah.
I have in my hand.
So we signed this.
Awesome. So that's
Me and Kim and Kathy signed that.
four.
And then me and Kim and Kathy signed that.
Excellent. I'm so glad you got that.
And then we have this 28 Buttonwood certificate of
Yeah,
compliance.
so
So we
that's
need
just
to
the
vote.
as-built. Yep. So just vote and sign.
So we just need to probably make a motion to give the certificate of compliance for 28 Buttonwood.
Did anyone look at it? Is it fine? Is
So it
just a-
says that we came out and looked at it.
Oh, okay.
And then the maps are there, the proposal and then the
The
as-built.
as-built and the NOI is here.
Okay. Anyone make a motion for, what is this?
28 Orchard?
Yeah,
Lines.
yeah, for a certificate of
28.
compliance.
Oh, yeah.
I put a motion
28
for,
Buttonwood.
I put a motion for 28
Buttonwood,
Buttonwood
for a
for
certificate.
certificate of
I'll
compliance.
second.
All in favor?
Hey.
Aye.
So we can sign it. So that's that. Yeah, mail, we need to see.
Yeah, just one thing in your office and then one bill.
Oh, we did make a motion to pay the bills. Do you need this back? Oh, we need to sign this. Yep, just one bill.
Is this fine? Into
You
open.
want to sign for this bill?
Try to be more legible and dry.
Road cuts.
No, I didn't.
It's,
It's coming down this way.
Okay, so we're all set with, let's see, Orchard Circle, I'll sign.
Do you have 3?
that one.
No, I don't know if I signed that one, is that it here?
I don't have it. Which one's this?
Says I need.
Oh, this is button.
Oh, is it, yeah, how about Orchard?
So now we've signed it. When will he get his paperwork?
So if, once we've signed Buttonwood, Orchard Circle.
Sign for Buttonwood.
38 Orchard Circle.
That's all set.
Did we give him a copy, or,
What's that?
did we give him a copy, or?
I can, I have to submit it to the DEP and then I can either certify and mail you one, or you
Yeah,
can come pick it up.
you can email, actually, if you want to email it to me,
Yeah,
and
I
just
can
let me
email
know
it
it's
and
ready
then-
for pickup.
Sure.
I'll tell the owner that she's off. If it's,
Oh, yeah.
if it happens to be off
do it.
tomorrow, she could,
She'll want Jacqueline, she'll want to take it to, the registry.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, very good.
Thank you.
Nice.
Have a good night.
Sign for Buttonwood.
This one here,
I think we signed.
What was that? Bill signed.
correspondence. That's for a road cut.
This is septic.
Okay, do we have to sign off on this, or? Do we need to sign, do we need to sign off on the road cut? I just,
It will say at the bottom, it requires a, approval. Sometimes you just like sends it for a review.
as the,
Is that from Pam?
is it from Pam? It is from the self assistant.
I don't
Yeah.
see the,
I don't think we need to, it's just. Oh, maybe down here, it's just to sign off.
Yep.
I could borrow someone's pen. It died.
I don't see this, the, COC or 28 foot motor. Yes.
Mhm. Anything else?
Deb, how to discuss Concom hearing procedures?
Yeah, I wanted to.
Is that something you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, one of the things was, I was thinking of, like I could read, like the summary of the narrative prior to the presenter or the engineer talking about the project, because oftentimes they leave out some pertinent facts that I find after, like I'm typing up and filing for the DP, I'm like, they didn't let us know that they're over, that, they're in the 50-foot no touch zone or something like that,
Yeah.
right? So I think it'd be good to summarize it, like
Yeah.
to introduce it.
That's a good
And
idea.
then after, like, if it's approved, just to say it's approved because, and then just let me know, like, the A, B, C, D, or whatever it is. So I had to do some research on one, and it just takes time to, like, I have to make a lot of calls, and oftentimes they don't get back to me till the next day, and so if I know why we're approved, like, I have to let the DEP know why it's approved, not just, so, yeah,
That's a good idea.
That's fine.
Yeah, I like that.
okay.
That
It
way
just
we're
helps
not,
me know, for the next time what to look for.
and then we were more knowledgeable when we make our decisions.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay, I think that was good.
okay. Anything else for anybody? I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I have one
You have one
question.
thing? Sure.
I spoke to Christopher Jean today with Representative Lenatra office. I had to speak to Chris on a different subject, but the McAndrews came up. And I had met Mrs. McAndrew before last week's meeting that I missed because I was still recovering. And at the Board of Health when she was talking to Peggy. And then I saw Bob afterwards and had a short discussion with him. And Rep. Lenatra and Mr. Jean would like to get a meeting together with all parties and all of the residents for long-term solutions. Because a lot of the residents that have issues, it's more so the town of Brockton and the water. in the level of the water, versus, the seawalls and a lot of other things. Even if she replaces her seawall and other things, it's going to still be a short-term fix for her if we don't have a long-term solution to being able to control the pond's water levels with Brockton
It's been an ongoing fight
for decades upon
forever. I mean, who's the guy before?
Tom,
Caldwell? What was his last name?
I can't remember.
It was Caldwell or something like that. I remember him arguing with him about it, so.
Yeah, and Natra has new legislation in to try to address it again,
Don't-
with more oversight and things.
Yeah,
But they're getting more calls than just the McAndrews at her office
Yeah.
about it. And then, I was talking to him, I know the answer is yes, it falls on the homeowner to have the financial.
Yeah, they came in front of us talking about replacing the wall, and
Yeah,
Right.
they
but
probably would need an engineer, obviously, to.
Yeah, so this was,
there's endangered species there. You've got the Clean Water Act. I mean, there's more to it than her just needing to replace her wall. There's,
well, when she files the notice of intent to replace the wall, I think then it goes to DEP, and I think then NHESP gets involved.
Yeah.
But, so I think that's the avenue for her to go, or
Yeah.
her or him to go through.
but
to get it
there's,
done.
when I was speaking to Mr. Jean, there's grants that the residents can apply for. And then there may be state or federal grants that the town could apply for to help the residents with erosion control and other different things. And we had a brief talk about that. I have some grant writing experience. Chris has some grant writing experience. The fire department has tons of grant writing experience. The fire department's awesome. If they'd be willing.
The highway department was doing work there too, right? Steve said that they did some
A while back, and
remediation
then
efforts, but it's just like a cyclical thing. Like you're just redirecting the water back to where it came from.
and he said that the residents disagreed, and they didn't
They didn't want
They
it.
didn't want it.
Yeah,
So if the residents don't want it, what do you do?
right.
But there might be options, I mean, as a quick fix, as an emergency, that doesn't violate any laws, you might be able to put large boulders in. But that would have to come with an order of conditions too, because you'd wanted to see it fixed correctly, and boulders aren't gonna keep the water out forever.
So hopefully she's
It
gonna
would be-
hire an engineer and
Yeah,
get a plan, and then she can come before us and.
yeah, but there's,
Yeah, the grants, does the selectmen do a lot of grant inquiries, or?
each department does their own. But it would be the homeowner's responsibility, because we're not residents.
Hmm.
But there are, and I'm more than happy to help her. I'm still on medical for 2 weeks. I'm more than happy to help her. It would give me something to do.
Yeah. You want to help her as a private citizen, helping her,
Why would I help her as a private citizen?
and helping her, I don't know.
Write a grant for Concom for our water issues. That's silly. But if the grants are available as a Concom commission
For
member,
Concom.
I would assist her while I'm home on medical and continue to assist her when I go back. I just will have more limited time when I come back, because I'll only be available from noon to like 8.
But then are we gonna help everyone else that comes before us that wants a grant?
Why
You know what I
not?
mean? Well,
I know
will we
that's
have
our
time?
job as appointed officials, is to help the residents.
Well, I think they have to come before us. I don't know how the grant works. They probably have to show their notice of intent for them to even get the grant money, or they just give money to whoever they ask. For, say, oh, I
That's
want to
how
fix
it's
them.
written. It depends
Yeah.
what she needs it for. What if she needs the money to pay for the application fees, permit fees? Because that could be covered under a grant as well.
Hmm.
It could be attached to it. And then some of the grant money could include her engineer and other things on top of the work. And depending where she applies and what different grants are available, the grant people may say, okay, we're hiring this company straightforward, and then they'd come before, no different than septic, and come before themselves without the residents as the body doing the work and such, so. There's so many different options to the residents, but she'd have to want it and she'd have to take the initiative.
Yeah. It is their property, you know, whoever feels like they have to need grant money or try to get grant money.
Right,
If
I'd
they have to-
rather help the residents with grants than open up the risk of offering to waive fees for everybody that has land on the lake, because there's a lot of properties.
Oh, offering what?
Offering to waive fees or things for those in financial distress, because I'm sure at this point after the pandemic and everything that's gone on, almost everybody has a financial issue. And there's a lot of residents between the east and west lake. You can't do it for one and not the other.
No,
That opens up a big
no,
risk.
that wouldn't work.
But I wouldn't mind helping her and sending her the links and answering her questions, and I know Mr. Jean would help too.
Who's Mr. Jean?
Christopher Jean, the state rep, said,
Okay.
the one that's been in contact with Debbie on the same issue.
Well, we know that the problem with the lake's been ongoing since I moved here. So it's not gonna go away. They're gonna keep fighting. It's something that, Lenatra,
Yes,
Miss Lenatra, we'd love to help her. Fight if she can do better than Tom, all for it.
yeah, she has.
Of course, the selectmen, I would imagine, would need to be involved or at least notified that that's going on, as they might have a say in something. As far as the grants go, this is just my own personal opinion. If there's something that you wanted to do and come up with a list of where people can find these grants and get direction, and you wanted to do that, and it's something that we could keep on file
Yeah, we can.
We could give it to-
for the future, you know, that when somebody would come in, they would say,
Same issue.
you know, hey, I have this problem with this,
Here's
you know, along the lake, and you say, yes, this is, you know, you need to file a notice of intent. You need to come in with an engineered drawing, somebody who knows exactly how they're gonna fix it, so we don't have, you know, everything going back into the lake, anything that goes into the lake, like the old wall or something, you know, the pictures that they had, there was a piece of the wall laying there. We'd really like the contractor to try and go in and just grab that and pull it out and take it out with the rest of everything, you know, take out the old wall after the new wall's in, so there is no more erosion in that. But at the same time, they're filing their notice of intent. You know, these are some options if you wish to pursue them
Yeah.
in regards.
Yeah.
When you get into grants and that, everybody says, I'll give you a grant, but nobody really wants to give you the money. You really, really gotta go the extra mile for it. So I appreciate your initiative. Do you really know how much time that's gonna take if you wanted to help them?
It doesn't take too long when you know what you do.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't mind helping them.
So-
But they have to want the initiative and to take the help.
Right.
And if they don't want the help and they don't wanna take the initiative, I'm gonna back off, because I'm not gonna do the work for them.
Right, so what we don't wanna get involved with is somebody calling up just for saying, hey, Kim up there does something with the grants. Can I talk to her? Can she come out? Can she do this? And then the next thing
Then
you
you have
know,
like 100 people
You
on the
gotta
lake
have
looking
a
for
line of-
you know, you got a line of people who want your
your
help doing something, and maybe only 10% of it's related to the board and only 5% of that's related to actually anything we're doing.
Yeah, I'd help
Give or
anyone
take.
that came in front of the board.
Sure.
that needed it.
Yeah.
Others, oh, I'm sorry, I can't help because. it's
So, and I don't know, I do not know, I haven't been on this board long enough, what, 7 years, 8 years? I do not know where that line is from what's in what we're supposed to do and where we stop,
Right.
you know?
Right, this is something that's
So-
never been before the board before, as
Right.
far as assisting citizens with the grants. It's not that you can't, but it's just not something that we've ever done. You know, maybe you can check with other towns, see if they
Yeah.
Do they have like a list of grants that they have posted or that the citizens can look at to find out what's available, or? I wonder.
Grants are hard too, because they change every 6 months.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Oh, okay. Never
different
mind.
type of grants all the time, that's why the fluctuation.
Oh, never mind then, Debbie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like a certain grant that comes out every 6 months or a year, it's just
I'm wondering
whatever the
what
government
else
approves of.
We might have tried luck with, like even on the, because part of it's like it's Brockton on, right? So it's, I wonder if someone else has been successful in obtaining funds.
Yeah, I
This
haven't,
happens
I don't
to
know.
everybody.
I know that Kathy Dryden was successful in grants for the lake, but that was for the town. It wasn't residential. And
Right.
Hanson.
Yeah, and the
had
general
six.
thing for the town, yeah.
And Hanson was successful in grants when Donna was there at the Board of Health. And Becky was in conservation. Becky is retired from Hanson Conservation. I don't know who's over there now. And
Yeah.
Bill's the health agent over there now. Donna's left.
But it wouldn't hurt to like reach out to other towns like ours, and like, what do you do in this instance, because it's not, this is private property, like, it's not up to us to go and repair it. But how do we help
Yeah, we can always,
without, you know?
Yeah, within staying in our roles
Yeah.
and responsibilities. That's what I put in when I emailed, was what is the roles and responsibilities? Where can we help with the roles and responsibilities?
In my time also, I can only, this is only the second or third wall that I can remember in my time that's come before us.
There's been a handful of them over the years.
Yeah,
And usually they'll get an engineer that will draw up the plans and they come before us and.
Yeah.
yeah. So there's not a whole lot that have, not to say that there won't be a deluge one of these days.
It just seems like since spring, people, I mean, it's slowed down now, it's other issues, but it was like everybody was complaining about the flooding around Ponset Pond, and what are you guys gonna do, and who do I talk to? I'm like, I don't know.
yeah,
And
we know.
everyone thinks it's the other person, the other department, you know?
Right.
Did you talk to highway? No, I did, they said to go to you. I was like, okay.
A lot of the ponds and the flooding it's a multi-department thing.
Right,
It's the Board of Health when it
Yeah.
becomes the public health emergency
Right.
with the algae and other things. It's a safety issue with the flooding different times of the year if it's still cold and it turns to ice and other things. And then naturally, the ponds fall into contact. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of the flooding is just
but if it's
rafting.
private property too, then like that's, when you buy next to a water body.
Yeah,
But did they buy with the disclosure of the city of Brockton refuses to follow the legislation that's in place and is extremely difficult?
Yeah,
That also becomes a problem.
yeah. That's true.
There's your representative.
She's got legislation, and I asked Chris if he'd send it to Debbie, so the board could all have it, because I haven't read it in full, I just know
Mhm.
that she filed it. And it's a completely different approach than Tom had taken. And then-
Good.
And it would be, when the time comes, I would assume that per the vote, every department involved would be able to write a letter of support for the hearing in the board that we support this legislation, here's why.
Mhm.
Please pass it at the State House. However, it would be
Mm.
worded, and I'm assuming the selectmen would want to do the same thing, and I assume that the Board of Health Commission would want to do the same thing. In support of it, once everybody can read the document
Mm-hmm.
in full. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's a complex issue.
It is.
So we haven't heard back from them at all about scheduling another meeting to come back, I would imagine.
We have not heard of it.
Okay.
No, I think, like I gave them what they needed for the notice of intent. And,
Okay.
you know, it can be overwhelming, it just was like a, you know.
Yep.
all these documents and plans.
Yeah.
But that's what it is.
Yeah, no, they reached out to the reps and senators because they were unhappy that the financial responsibilities on them.
Yeah.
For the wall at their house?
Yeah, and the mold remedy and other things that don't fall
Mm.
on the contract.
Mold.
Yeah, the water come into the house, it's getting so bad, you saw the pictures, I saw.
Yeah, I saw the ground collapsing around, but
But the pictures that she had shown me and Peggy, the wall was down, and then it was coming in, but the whole backyard was flooded, and it was up to her bottom windows, and I guess it had been seeping in, so it created mold up and in through the house, but that's not the Board of House responsibility either,
Yeah.
to pay for mold remedy.
It's kind of become unhabitable. sounds
But,
like.
but it is, it's becoming a problem for them. And the only solution I could come up with for them, with not violating any of the legislation, federal or state or our bylaws, was allowing them to temporarily put in large boulders for them until they can come in front of us with everything they need and figure it out.
mm,
But it won't stop the water.
Brockton controls the flow of the water.
Slow it down, it won't stop.
Have they have mold in their house?
That's what they told Bob, yeah.
But they haven't reached out to any company to come and remediate it?
You'd have to ask the Board of Health. They asked Bob to come out and look. I know Bob's been to the house a couple times. Could you follow up with Bob for us and ask him how his house visit was for the McAndrews?
Sure.
I know he's been out a couple of times. I mean, I could ask Bob myself, but I'm not allowed to email the whole board with an answer, so.
Small companies out there that do come in and remediate
Yeah.
like that, you know who they are?
No, I know there's small companies that.
Able, Service Master, Serve
Okay.
Pro, people like that.
Yeah,
Service Master, Serve Pro, and Able are the bigger ones. I'm sure there's smaller ones out there, but that's not something that you want to mess with.
right.
It does get airborne, and when it gets airborne, it can move to additional rooms in the house.
Yeah.
So, and every house has what it needs to grow, keep growing. So they should take care of that right away. Not to mention that the health risks that it can cause,
Right.
big time health risks. So they would want somebody to come in and take care of that. Nothing says that they can't go get sandbags and just sandbag a little area in front to kind of divert the water or something in the meantime, something simple, you know, as opposed to the boulders, you know, like some tube sand socks up it from Home Depot or Lowe's or something, and just, you know, a couple high, and, you know,
That's a good.
it's not a guarantee, but, you know, they got to do something, because you see everybody using them when stuff starts to flood. At least it might, you know, keep the bulk of it away for a while they're going through this.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So
I like
anything, if you see them again, you might want to mention to them. That's, it's like your glass case.
Yeah.
It's a pretty color. I'd liven it up a little bit.
Put some tape in the middle of the glasses.
People watching the video, they're gonna go, why is that guy whispering?
Do you want to
Anything else?
motion?
I was gonna say something. Anything else? I have nothing.
Anything else, Kim?
Anything
I'm
else,
good.
Ken?
I was wondering if, there would ever be a conservation agent possibility on staff, if there, like the last time there was one, or it seems like,
It's been about at least 10 years probably
Oh.
since we've had one.
really,
I can't hear.
Our conservation
like even
agent.
if it was like twice a month. Because it's like, it's so hard for me to catch up when there's issues come up, but, I mean, it's good because I'm learning about, like docks and violations and things like that, but,
Oh, the docks?
yeah, just when things arise that, you know, you're needing to enforce the Wetlands Act, and that's their job. is to go out and make sure, you know, like Jim went out to confirm, but, you know, what was happening, but if there was an agent, then they could be like, okay, this is, we're gonna let her do that, you know, whereas like I'm just reaching out to, you know, the resources that I have to make sure that I'm doing everything properly, but I just feel like, okay, so now what? Like he could be like, yeah, whatever, I'm not coming to the meeting, I'm not gonna stop, what are you gonna do?
I think that's when one of us has to go out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a cease and desist order, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then if he doesn't listen, there's fines associated with it.
Yeah, every day he doesn't.
I mean, Clean Water Act and the violations he has aren't cheap.
Right. So does the like,
Does he wanna not listen and go that route and
It's
not
pretty-
pay and then end up
yeah.
with a lien on his
It's
house?
so
Because that's
blatant.
what the town will do.
yeah.
Hmm.
I just think,
Let's see what his answer is.
Yeah.
you know. So
So,
when does the fees start kicking in, I guess, like now? Like start counting today, like $300 a day?
no,
Do we have to send a letter?
They come,
Yeah.
because we invited them to the next meeting.
Okay.
Yep.
If he doesn't show
So
up,
if they don't show up, then
Then
we'll
we'll
send
do
another
that.
letter, and then we'll say that, you know, we can start doing daily fines. And if they don't wanna come up and come over.
yeah, and if they don't pay the fines, then it's court or
Then you get into court, we've done this once before.
really?
It's, they get town council and it gets really
Oh,
involved.
that's right, okay. They get involved.
But hopefully it doesn't go that route.
I know.
so the first letter you sent was just a cease and desist, right?
Yes,
Okay.
and invited him to, on the 24th to come talk about it.
Okay.
And then if we don't hear back or they don't show up, then the next letter goes out and you say, if you don't show up at the next meeting, you're subject to $300 a day fines.
Yeah, I was wondering just because it's, one of the neighbors was like, he's using pressure treated wood, it's been in the water, the longer it's there, the longer it's like leaching in there, shouldn't he have to pull it out now?
That's true, if it's pressure treated wood, it has to come out now, and it's a
And so
violation of the
who-
Clean Water Act. And they have endangered species in there.
I let the DEP know, but they would take the same steps of like sending a letter, you know? And I asked them who enforces all this, you know?
Well, can you, have you tried to reach out to them, call them, or maybe try calling them, seeing,
The
we can come down.
homeowner or the property owner?
yeah, see if we can go down to the property and,
Don't have a phone number, I mean, I could try and find one, I asked the assessor if she had like the current owner, and she sent me that information, but it's just the name and the Hanson address.
When did you send the letter out?
LLC, just today,
Just today?
yeah.
Give it a bit.
yeah.
If it doesn't respond, then that just means the farther he gets his dock in, the more he's gotta take back out.
It's just
Biggest thing is, how are you doing a foundation for it?
Yeah, you can't go into the soil.
How you doing it? Are you gonna do what the other guy did? Put
Float it.
it in 5-gallon buckets, pour concrete in 5-gallon buckets
Oh,
and
okay.
sit them on top of it. Remember that guy? Yeah, that didn't go so
Yeah,
well
yeah.
either. So, but then, once you get past the once you get into the water, then the permits all come from the police department,
Yeah,
right?
The permits for, yeah.
To use the dock.
They need I know they need a chapter 91 license through the DEP. And they have to come before us
Before they.
for a
go to
notice of
police
intent, yeah,
department.
before they can,
Yeah.
whatever conditions.
Before they can build
do
it.
that.
Oh, yeah, they should.
But anything on the
things.
water is taken care of by the police department.
I didn't know that. Okay.
And we
And
don't
because it's
have a-
Halifax.
Yeah, what's the shore?
It belongs to the town of Halifax, like the water, right? It's
Yes.
not- Yeah,
So you said it had an Hanson address.
the owner. It's an LLC.
Okay, so it's a rental property.
Yeah, so I sent the letter to both addresses, the physical address where the violation is and the homeowner's LLC address.
So I wonder if the landlord knows that the tenant did this.
Oh, yeah, we don't know who's doing it, so.
Yeah.
Did you send it to the homeowner or did you send it to the LLC?
I sent it, it's the same person, like the property owner.
Yep.
It's, you know, first, last name, their LLC name and Hanson. So it's-
But in
to
Hanson.
Yeah, so I
Okay.
sent it to his attention in Hanson, and
Okay.
sent it to his attention at 31 Ocean.
Okay.
Should we send one to the property itself though, too, just for the tenants? Oh, sorry.
Sorry, say that again?
No, you did, send it to the property itself, just not,
Oh, yeah.
The
Just- yeah,
person
so
was
when Jim went
enhancing.
there, it's, no one was home, so I just wanna make sure that he's home at one of those places, you know,
yeah.
when he gets, he's gonna get the letter. It's a really big dock, it just seems pretty blatant, like, how could you not know you have to?
That's the excuse they always use.
They-
Well, I'm from Hanson, I didn't know.
I didn't know.
I'm from Vancouver, I didn't
Yeah, and
know.
it's like, United States
Okay,
of America,
yeah,
you
well-
didn't permit anything.
I'll give you the benefit of the doubt on it, you know? I moved here, I didn't know. I moved from Ohio. I didn't know anything out front was, you know, deed restricted until I actually got the stuff in front of me, so, you know?
Could have got the wrong advice from Facebook, talked to the wrong uneducated neighbor. The list is lengthy. My
Yeah,
mistake
so-
happened.
I'm not giving you that.
Without permission for the dog too, if the neighbor dams them out at National Heritage.
Times about.
I'm not-
Right?
I mean, there's
Yeah.
endangered species in there, and then we're getting the emails that the National Heritage is already unhappy with the way it doesn't fall in Concom, it's a Board of Health issue, the way that they're tracking our treatments and everything else for them.
Yeah, and I think
They
before
need
they,
it to be more.
Yeah, to put anything in the
I think before they put the dock in, they're supposed to get the scuba diving.
scuba diving, supposed to survey like endangered species, everything, before you put anything into the soil. That's why people use the floating docks, because they don't have to do it.
Yeah.
They can't, no homeowner that's been on the ponds for at least the last 5 or 6 years has an excuse not to know about the endangered
Yeah.
species
Yeah.
or the public health risks.
No,
with
they don't know.
algae or
The neighbors
anything
are
else.
not happy. The neighbors are concerned about the pressure treated wood. And what
I would,
else?
I'd have them pull the dock just because of the pressure treated wood. ASAP.
Well, we sent out the letter, let's see if they answer it.
We should be like conservation cops.
If-
Go to the door.
If we-
With a crane, take everything out.
If conservation had an agent, the agent could have had it pulled right then and there.
That would be awesome.
And I know Sandy said that there's still funding for an agent in conservation,
Yeah.
but we'd have, and she was unsure if they'd have to be an article or not. So that's a discussion to have with Sandy and the Board of Selectmen again, and the selectmen want us to have an agent. But they wanted to do it a little
Advertise?
bit,
The selectmen want us to have an agent,
a conservation agent.
then the selectmen need to send us a letter stating that. I don't like hearsay.
Mr.
So-
Andrews has said it more than once in Board of Selectmen meetings. It's been public for a while.
Then have Mr. Andrews come in front of us and say
Yeah.
it.
Or send us a letter.
Yeah, or send us a letter. If all the selectmen want us to have it, have the selectmen send us a letter and have them all sign it.
And you can work on it.
I don't like hearsay. I don't like, so-and-so said so-and-so.
Why wouldn't you
No,
let us know that?
if that's what they want,
When was the
then,
last,
then tell us that that's what they want and make us do it.
when was the last department head meeting? The selectmen, at least once a month on the Board of Selectmen agendas, have all the departments in front of them.
And that's sent to us how? How are we notified of
I've never
that?
heard of that. Granted, I've only been here for a year and a half, but in the 20-odd years I've been here, I've never heard of that.
Well, it's a newer thing with the newer board. And
What do you have?
Charlie.
Then I think what you need to do is you need to go talk to the selectmen, since that's what you do, and have them get with us and tell us what they want.
And it also came through to us through email, inviting us, and through Charlie, when Charlie was here.
And the day we showed up,
They
they didn't have time for us. Sorry, we're gonna have to do this another time.
I think we went twice and they canceled both times.
Yeah,
Other matters.
so if they wanna schedule it on a night that we were there one night on a Tuesday. The
Yeah.
other time we went on an off night, and neither time did we have a meeting. Okay, Let's adjourn.
Yes, because I'm sick. Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Second, all in favor?
All right.
You're a quick second.